internal ML, like internal app ML engineers that they only work on our internal resources that employees use. We have external as well, which is like those working for companies, and we have open source, those working with open source communities like PyTorch. We have different partners. We partner with Meta, OpenAI, NVIDIA, etc. So it will depend on what role you're looking for. So if you can be more specific, then I can be more specific in the skills you need. But for my job, you need technical knowledge in edge AI, you need knowledge in robotics, you need knowledge in autonomous industries. You also need knowledge in like how businesses really work, communication. You also need to be able to you need to be like a very good team player, and working with cross teams, because my role doesn't just sit in one place. I have to collaborate with like different teams and multiple teams, making sure that everyone's priorities are aligned. So I would just send the careers page here. You can filter to what you really want to like work in. If you find a role you like during this session right now, I can answer any question about the role if I know more about it. And then but then any like the required skills you see on the job, like that's basically what you need really. They don't there are no surprises. What you see is what you get, like with so yeah. The second one is how to, sorry, there was a follow up in that one. How do I impact underdeveloped communities with the skills? Well, there are multiple ways of doing this. I can tell you what I do, and I can tell you what other people I see around like doing, like Zenas. Zenas has this great community. That's like one way of, contributing. You don't have to set up your own community per se. You could just find one that is already set up and ask them how you can help them. You can either like join and mentor their sessions. You could join their hands-on session and say, hey, I just want to like moderate the specific session. You can also have your own webinars and just educate people. For me, I'm especially like with the developer program, we have a Discord channel. I just check there whoever has any questions or difficulties with the project. I try to help as much as I can. I'm here right now this evening on a Saturday evening. I could be out somewhere, but I'm spending my time with you guys. So these are like different ways you can also like impact other people. Sometimes people take these things for granted, but sometimes it just takes one session to really change someone's life. Yeah. The second question is how to go in AI. Well, this is a very vague question, but I'll try to answer it to the best of my ability. You can basically like read news a lot. Well, now we have LLMs. You don't even need to like go searching for the news yourself. You can I can drop a prompt here for ChatGPT or Codex if you guys use Codex. Oh wait, now just last week Codex and OpenAI merged Codex and ChatGPT, so you have them in one interface. I will send you a prompt, and then each, like, you can have it weekly or you can have it daily. It will send you a news like digest on what is happening in AI or edge AI or in the industry, and then you have to keep updated with what's going on, because if there's a shift in the industry, which is like almost every week there's something new, you have to be on top of it. Well, at least for my job, I have to like know everything happening in the edge AI space, because if I miss one information, it could be very critical to like some things that we are delivering. And you also have to be as hands-on as often as you can. By hands-on, I mean like jumping on projects when you can. If you're already working, take your job very seriously. It's a learning, like we're all still learning. Just learn as much as you can. Always be open. When I say always be open, I mean be flexible enough that if, for example, the world is like moving away from using Python and AI, and there's a new programming language, be flexible enough and open enough to adopt that new language, because the way everything is moving so fast, like every week someone is dropping like a new AI model, there's something new in the industry. If you get stuck on one thing, you're going to be left behind. And the way the job market is so competitive, if you are not like always learning and always like on top of the new technologies, you may struggle to like find a good job or a job that you really like doing. The next question is, want to know how AI really works. AI is basically artificial intelligence. So I don't know how technical all of you are, but I'm just going to like explain it in like very high level. So you can think of AI as I want the right word to use because there's also like this phase about AI like being bad for people, but um we have different types of artificial intelligence. First off, let me start from there. We have machine learning. So machine learning is where you use very little code to like teach a machine like what to do. By machines, it can be a system, it can be a tool. So for example, in machine learning, we can have something called like decision trees. And decision trees are like a type of model that you can use to answer like a yes or no question. So for example, you can also use it to like classify stuff. So you can tell it to tell you like you have a group of apples or you have 5 apples. You want to tell us which one is green, which one is red. So that's an example of machine learning. We have computer vision, which we in practice we say the eyes of the computer. So this is how we give machines like vision to see. Then we have the language, which is basically how the models communicate with us. So LLMs are like language models. You have ChatGPT, you have Claude, etc. And then we have the hardware side of things, or like reinforcement learning. Reinforcement learning is basically letting the machine correct itself by giving it incentives. And examples of reinforcement could be, let's say you have an AI automated, like an AI that plays chess. So what happens is like if it wins a game, for example, you award it with something, and then it knows that okay, so this I no, let me use a different example. So in chess, let's say it makes a right move, you can award it, and then it knows that okay, this was a good move. But if it makes a bad move, you can just like also like give it a penalty, and it will know it's a move. So next time it encounters such like moves, it would be able to basically like know which one was good or bad. Then we have like under the language models we have the LLMs. LLMs fall under deep learning. Deep learning is basically like neural networks. So with neural networks, you can think of it as your brain. So it's the brain of the computer where with neural networks, when you go deeper into it, it's a combination of like neurons and neurons. So then the brain has been simulated literally for the computer. So I hope that makes sense. So it's like the brain of the computer. You can just think of it like that. And that's where LLMs fall under. And LLMs are graphs, like graphs of different neural networks. So you can think of it as a university of neural networks into one body. So if you think of University of Ghana, how we have different departments, in you can think of the LNM as University of Ghana, and inside the University of Ghana, the different departments could be different types of neural networks. I hope I've explained this how AI really works thing. And I'll just like give some benefits. So AI makes our work faster. It also can do some tasks that humans cannot do like efficiently. I'm choosing my words very carefully. Example is when I was working in the on the robots in the factory, they can go 24/7 and be charged or charge themselves. A human being cannot realistically work in a factory, packing boxes, categorizing boxes 24 hours in a row. That's very unrealistic and unhealthy for the human being. But for the machine, they can do that. So that's an example. And I'm sure everybody should know like LLMs, ChatGPT, etc. So basically, it's an assistant, and you can ask it questions, and then it will give you feedback. You can ask it to like perform certain tasks for you, like maybe it could generate a PPTX of what AI is about for you. That's also an example, and it does it like in seconds. A human being cannot realistically build a PPTX in like 10 seconds for you, unless maybe the person is superhuman. So yeah. I don't have any questions in session. The next question is, what are some of the most important developments happening in the field of edge and physical AI? How can someone prepare to take advantage of the opportunities opening up in that space? Well, the most important I mean, we classify them per industry. So we have the health industry, we have education, we have entertainment. So depending on what industry you have, anyone can have a different version of what importance means. But basically, what we are all like trying to achieve is making sure that edge and physical AI is making the world a better place. For example, is these robots working in the factory, it makes like it gives the company a high, return on investments, because imagine coming back to work the next day and these robots have packed all the boxes. All you have to do is put it in the truck and drive the truck to deliver the stuff. That makes work faster and easier. Customers are all going to be happy. Very recently, a company also released a robot that it's also like a factory worker. I think it was like organizing stuff and packages. And the robot was running, they made it run for 48 hours as a challenge, and it was able to achieve that. That's another example. In education, we have people using ChatGPT or um AI models that can like record AI apps, sorry, that can record class sessions and then just literally summarize it for you and create notes for you. That would make your life as a student also easier, because you don't have to try and recall everything the lecturer said. You can focus on what the lecturer is saying, and then your notes will be taken care of for you. You go back to your dorm, your room, your hostel, and then all you have to do is revise and try and recall. It makes your life easier. In the workplace, if you have these assistants like doing a lot of work for you, or taking like some load off you, for example, generating notes for you during meetings, summarizing the notes, writing reports for you, you have more time to think, like to sit and think as a person. And in return, it makes you think about how to be better in your workplace, how to maximize your output and your productivity. So these are examples of like developments happening. ChatGPT was a big one. These humanoids coming out are also big ones. We have self-driving cars from Tesla and Waymo and other cars. We have like Waymo. We don't have it in Europe yet or in Africa, but they have it in the US, where it's like a taxi that is like self-driving. So you hail the taxi, it picks you up, and then it can drop you off anywhere. You don't need a taxi driver to do that. And for some people that don't really feel safe taking taxis, you'd be realistically safer in that than having a human being that you are scared the person was going to like do something to you. Then we also have I'm trying to think of like other things happening in the industry of late. We also have in the health industry, where um it's now easier for doctors to also give easier diagnosis, because with these with in AI you can also like really really train a model like good, and then it's going to like assist the doctor in like detecting certain diseases faster. We've also used AI to explain like genetics really well. Of late, I'm seeing people like prosthetics. Now people can use robotic arms, hands, instead of having like the fake ones that are not really mobile. Like the robotic hands like work just like human hands. Or I mean, human hands are way better, but then it's fairly better than what they had in the past. So these are like good advancements. How to prepare? In my earlier like statement, I mentioned about how you have to make sure that you are updated as much as you can. Be very hands-on. It's very important. Like if you with these things, you only get experience by doing. You can't just read about it and then you think you know it. In practice, sometimes it's very different. So it's very important that you always have to try it out. We have a question in the chat saying, do co-op undergraduate degrees actually give someone competitive edge in the tech space, or a co-op degree doesn't matter? One can also opt for normal undergraduate degree. I don't know what a co-op undergraduate degree is. Maybe if you could explain what that is, then I would be able to answer your question.
It's when work experience is added to your undergraduate degree. So sometimes there's like 1 year in industry or something like
Mhm.
that. Yeah, so
Oh my,
usually,
yeah. Mhm.
yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, absolutely. If you have options like that, like please jump on it. It's so important, especially with how like it's very, very difficult to, or it's more difficult these days to find a job in like in the concentrated markets. Sometimes companies prefer to give full time, like for me, Mine wasn't like it wasn't called co because it was on the side that we got the contract. But right after I finished school, we got full time, office, which was really cool. So if you have that, sometimes companies just prefer to re-employ undergraduate students that they worked with, even if it was an internship, like it still holds weight because they would rather like continue working with you than picking someone they have to retrain. So if you have options like that, it's always better than having like just your normal degree. On the other hand, if you feel like you are a weak student or you need more time to ingest information or you're not really good like in school, having work on the side could rather be detrimental to you. So you also have to look at yourself as a person and see if you can handle both. If you can handle both, go for it. If you can't, just focus on your studies. But on the side, like during summer, you can find an internship, do it, and then you should be good. Someone is asking, what are the opportunities in Africa? Whoever asked this question, could you kindly clarify in the chat or raise your hand? And do you mean opportunities in terms of education or in terms of work? Because these are like two different things. The next question is the most basic and simplified way to enter AI proper in 2026. Are you looking for a shortcut? Well, shortcuts are not always good because they'll catch up to you. But the most basic and simplified way would be through internships or through apprenticeship programs. So internships are like one of the easiest ways to get a job. Even if sometimes you could have all the qualifications, but if you've looked for a job for like a year, you're not getting anything tangible, go in for an internship. After the internship or before the internship like ends, ask for feedback through your line manager or your peers and just tell them that you would really appreciate like a full-time offer. You'd be sometimes you just have to ask. But the first thing is getting your foot through the door. And that's the simplest way I can think of, honestly. I may be wrong. If anyone else has like, a better answer, you can like drop it in chats. But we have like 15 minutes till this session ends. So yeah. Hi, I'm an aspiring blockchain developer, and I'm curious how ARM sees the future of running lightweight blockchain clients or verifying data on edge devices. Do you think there's a role for blockchain in providing in proving that an AI model on device hasn't been tampered with? Oh, that's like super cool. That'll be very interesting to see. Yes, that if yes, there is a blockchain. There is a role for blockchain in that. So one thing about ARM is we have a research department. In the research department, like we're open to like any idea you have, and if the money if like the lead of that department really likes your idea or your pitch, you would you would get like sponsorship to go deeper in research. So we never say no to innovation. Like we're all about innovation. So yeah, of course. Yeah, I would say yes. Next question is, as a blockchain dev looking to break into IoT, what skills should I start learning now to be valuable to companies like ARM? Should I be learning embedded C, Rust, or cryptography alongside smart contracts? Well, smart contract is heavily blockchain, and no, I mean, we mostly use Python, C++. We use C sometimes, but we mostly use C++ and Python. So I would suggest you look there first because in your interview, you would be asked to your coding challenge. You can use Rust as well, but then for the job, you would mostly need like if you check the roles I sent, it's mostly C++ and Python. You would have flexibility to choose which one you want for the challenge. But then with some departments, they're very strict on using C++ or Python because you can't come on the job with any other language. You wouldn't really be useful, or it would take you a while to like settle in. So you can start from there. Aside like having like the technical skills, we also really, really care about soft skills, how you are as a person. Are you able to work well with a team? Um, what are your values like? W- like like how you believe in yourself also like really matters. Your confidence, your communication skills. So sometimes instead of like when you're focusing on the technical skills, like also like think about the soft skills you need. Is the interview lead code style? Yeah, I would say it's lead code style, but then this time you would have it in like a terminal that we created ourselves. So it's not like on a third party application. Yeah. And I think that was all for that question. There's a lot of hype around blockchain for IoT. From your work with physical devices, what are one, two IoT use cases where blockchain actually makes sense today versus just adding complexity? Well, I haven't really worked on blockchain for IoT projects, so I'm so sorry. I wouldn't be able to answer this question. I don't want to give you wrong information. Yeah, I'm sorry I couldn't answer that. What benefits are there from learning about AI? There are so many benefits. First off, AI is everywhere. And if you don't want to like learn about AI, I'm really sorry, but like in a year or two, you might find it harder to settle in, or you might find it harder to even do your job because everyone else will be using AI and everyone would be like ahead, and you'd be like you I wouldn't say you'd be left out, but then it's like if you're using the traditional ways, feel free to do that, but just know that like if I take two people, for example, one person is like using AI to generate reports and reviewing it versus you sitting down to write the reports. That person would have more time to like think. That person will have more time to do other like tasks, and at the end of the day, if they take your performance, the person would be literally performing like on paper better than you are because you're having to do everything without the help of like any AI. I don't know if that makes sense. Can anyone study CS? Yes, anyone can study CS. I don't see why you can't study CS. And then sorry, I have other questions in the chat. So yeah, you're welcome, Kenneth. Are you also interviewed on machine learning concepts? Yes, depending on the job you're going for, you would be. If you're going for machine learning, yes. But we also have like UI UX designers. We have like people in finance. We have um we have like software engineers building applications. We have website developers. We have researchers. We have UX UI researcher. So really, depending on if you're going for like a web like a website development job, I wouldn't expect them to ask you anything about machine learning. Um okay, so I'm told if I haven't finished answering the questions and then I want to extend the time, I could. So when it's like 10, no, sorry, it's 9 p.m. your time. So when it's 9 p.m. and then you feel you need to drop off, feel free, but I'll stay with whoever wants to stay behind and finish answering the questions I have on here. But I hope I've answered your question, Emeka, on the interviews about entry level career opportunities. There are so many entry level career opportunities. It depends on where. If it's from I just like drop like the link to our careers page on there. If you need more insights and you want to like reach out to me, feel free to reach out to me to understand like a role better. If I can, I will help you. But if it's out of my domain, I would probably look for someone to help. But that's like no promises. I'll just try and help as much as I can. And we have like we have for Ghana, we have NSS, which is a great way to get into like a company you really like. If I know they have like companies hiring. I don't know, sometimes can you help me with the companies? I'm sorry, like I don't really know. But I know Bank of Ghana hires like software engineers as well. I know some of my colleagues are working at PwC. We also have this company. Yes, and I was like, please help me with like the entry level career opportunities, like
Yeah,
yeah.
the software agencies like Amalitech,
Yeah, I
um,
was looking for that. Yeah.
they're really great tech. I don't know if you remember them.
Yeah, I remember them. Yeah.
Yeah, and Mino Health. Mino Health is also hiring national service.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah,
So you could, yeah. I mean, in my opinion, I would say there are many opportunities available. The problem is if you have the skills to match them, because people are saying, oh, there are no jobs, but then you go online and you even just type AI roles, you see so many. But the issue is if you have the skills to match it, because everything is moving so fast, there's always like something to learn. But sometimes in if you don't have all the skills, still apply for the job. Still apply for the job. If you get into the interview, you sometimes you have to be honest that you're not if you're not sure about something, just be honest about it. And but then also show them that even though you don't know, you are like willing to like learn and you're willing to learn more because sometimes employers want to see that you have the drive and motivation to push through something, which is very important. Now we have another question, which is What fundamental knowledge do I need to enter the AI field, especially in the era of vibe coding? Do I still need to learn programming from scratch? And what difference does it make with or without it? You still need to learn programming. Yes, we do. Like we vibe code a lot. I vibe code as well. But with vibe code, and don't forget that you also need to debug. And if you don't have the right fundamental knowledge and you don't have the right foundation, it would make you waste more time than you should. But if you have the foundation, then it's easier. And in your interview anyway, you are not allowed to vibe code. You're allowed to like search for something. Like you're allowed to use Google search, but you're not allowed to use like any AI at all to help you code. So yes, I would say you still need like the skill. And also as a person, it also like it's good for your brain. So yeah, you still need to, unfortunately. And then as an individual interested in IoT and AI, how do I gain technical skills that will give me an advantage and leverage as I explore the telecommunications industry? I mean, I think I've answered this question a lot. So yeah. Um because I always recommend self-study. Nothing beats self-study. Well, one recommendation as well is if you use, I don't know, if you use any of the like AI assistants like GPT, Claude, Gemini. You could also ask it to curate a course for you based on like how you prefer to learn. So an example prompt is you can say if you use it a lot, you can say based on my conversations with you so far and based on how you know me as a person, curate a list of resources or curate a learning journey or learning path for me. I want to study AI. I prefer to study by video, or if you prefer to study by like hands-on work, I prefer to study with hands-on work. And then it would create resources. It's really good with that, so you can explore that option as well. And then it says the last question I have on here is, okay, no, sorry, we have one in the chat, so I'll just do that and then I go back to the list. Does arm hire in interns, I guess, interns from Africa? Unfortunately not. If we had an office there, I'm sure they would, but only hires interns for like, especially if you want to be in the HQ, the headquarters, they only hire like English people. I mean, it's very difficult to travel to do an internship. Like there's a lot of paperwork and immigration stuff. So generally, I know for internships, it's like you have to already live in the country. But then we don't only have an office in the UK. We have offices in the US as well. We have Canada. We have offices in India, Taiwan, China, Germany, Sweden. I think Norway, but I don't quite remember if Norway is on the list. But yeah, so you can also like look at other offices, but I don't think so anyway. And can you get my LinkedIn? Yes, I can send you my LinkedIn. The last question I have on here is my goal is to build an AI software agency that develops AI solutions for businesses rather than work as an employee. Do you think this program is the best option to help me achieve that goal, especially in Ghana? What program? Do you mean like the Makers Hub? If you could be specific on what program, then I could answer your question. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what that means. Zenas, do you think they mean this program? Yeah, was it Miracle? Miracle, I think you unmuted if
I
you
am
want to
not
speak.
quite sure. I was even thinking maybe the reference computer science.
Yeah, do you mean like the course you are studying? Because you didn't add the, if it's a course you're studying, you didn't add it. So if you could let me know. So I better answer this question. I don't know. If you ask this question in the call,
I
can you
think he dropped off. He has a network issue.
oh, okay. I mean, whenever he's ready to add, then that's fine. But I've answered all the questions that I received from the list and all the ones in the chat. If anyone else has any question before we end the session, you can kindly ask. Let me give you my LinkedIn in the meantime. Do you think we would get to AGI? It's possible we would. I think we might. But the question is when. So I'm not sure when, but we might get there. With how everything is moving really quickly, we might get there. It could be in 5 years, maybe 10 years, 20 years, who knows? But we will get there for sure. Because I remember even as in 2018 or 2019, we hadn't, or 2020 even, we hadn't really reached like the reasoning phase. But now ChatGPT can reason, Claude can reason, Gemini, like these LLM can reason. And if 2 to 3 years ago, 4 years ago, 5 years ago, we hadn't reached there, but now we are. You can only imagine what's going to happen, in the future. Yes, ESK, you can unmute and ask your question.
Thank you for the opportunity. Please, I want to ask, how did you begin your personal startup, your first personal startup, and your first project? And do you have any business you run by yourself, which you've gained through your knowledge and your skills and experience?
Yeah, absolutely. So I don't have a startup. I'm working for someone. I'm employed. So yeah, that answers like that part of your question. And how I got my first project, it was through university. Well, actually, no, because in my first year, we didn't have like hands-on projects. So my grandma sponsored me. She bought me like some components, some electric components, and then I built. She has like a water pump in her house, and I built. It was like I prototyped it actually. So I used this. Oh no, I can't. It was the Arduino kits. They had like these Arduino kits. It was called something. Zenas, I don't know if you remember, but even in year three, Dr. Mills was asking us to buy that kit. She bought me that kit in my first year. So I built like an automatic sensor to detect if like the water like to detect her water levels. If it was too low, then the pump would be automatically switched on, and if it was like if it gets the max level, it goes off automatically. So that was my first project, and it was sponsored by yeah. How did I? It's called the Arduino Uno starter kit. So it was a very simple kit, and then that was what I used on my first project. And the first project, it was I decided to start it on my own. Does that answer your question? Or do you mean like a big project? Because that was honestly my first project.
Please, it answers my question and
Awesome.
your personal business.
Yeah, well, I don't have do you mean like a personal tech business? I don't have a personal business when it comes to tech.
So you have a non-tech business.
Yeah. Yeah, I love fashion so much. When I was young, like maybe when I was like 5 years, I wanted to be a fashion designer. So and then I love like anything hair. So I have a business that like sells hairstyling tools, but it has nothing to do with tech. It's just like side my side quest.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome. But you can ask Zenas how he's running the community though. I think maybe Zenas, you can answer her. So she probably wants some insights.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can.
Okay, great. Yeah, so I think I'd have to backtrack a bit because I actually wanted to do robotics and I'm currently doing data engineering. But because I know the industry is not built here, the business I am doing now is to raise people who have interests and help them get a proper learning path to becoming people who can be the founders I wanted to be. So the business I am running now is raising people to um, do that. And if you are talking about the projects, and there are a couple of projects I have worked on, but one big one I'm coming to work on is to build robots, sort of like a two-wheel drive robot that can teach advanced robotics. Currently all we are doing is robotics for high school, junior high school, but right after that, there's no advanced robotics learning path. So that's what I'm trying to achieve with that. There is one in the US and the UK. It's called the TurtleBot. It's used to learn advanced robotics, but it's quite expensive. It's from, I think, around 700 USD to up until 2000 and more USD. So I'm trying to create a localized one here in Africa that will be a bit cheaper and can be applied by universities and then schools and any person who wants to do it. So that's what I'm currently working on. Aside my regular 9 to 5 job, I hope I have answered your question.
Yes, please.
Okay. Awesome. Does anyone have any other question? I dropped my LinkedIn chat for whoever asked, and I don't have any more questions to answer. So if anyone has any question, I will just wait and see, and then if there are no questions, we can end the session. Hi, Alexandra. You can ask your question.
Okay, so I've done research and I've heard that Germany is like a good place for like technical knowledge because they are really industry focused. But at the same time, too, since I want to work in tech, they are like the US and the and other European countries. So that's where the tech companies are actually are. So
Mhm.
what do you advise? Whether I should rather opt for maybe a place like Germany where I'll get more of the hands-on because US schools really lack co think when I look at them, they're like only like a few schools that offer co-op programs.
Mhm.
But then over there, that's also where the tech giants are.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I want,
Well,
yeah.
yeah, absolutely. From my experience, and then again, um, it really depends. I'm saying it depends because Germany is true. Germany is really tech focused and very hands-on. The universities are great. So and European education, I'm not trying to like do any comparison, but from that's what I'm saying from my experience, European education is like unmatched. So if you have the chance to study in a German school, I don't see why you shouldn't go for it. Also, especially if you're also willing to learn German. But most of the tech, well, sorry, if it's a big company, right? If it's a multinational company, they wouldn't care so much about your German. But if you find like a mid-sized company, they may want you to have at least B2 German. At least that's what it was. That was the case in Switzerland. And I have a friend in Germany. She doesn't speak German, but she's working in Volkswagen, and she studied engineering. She's doing great. She didn't even go there for university. She just went there for a 1 year program or something, and she got the job and stayed. So Germany is very hands-on, very tech focused. I know she's happy there. In the US, I don't really know how the education system is, so I can't say much for it. But I, like you said, yes, most of the tech giants are there. But don't forget that these tech giants have other branches in other countries. For we have a branch in Munich. I know Google has German branches as well. So Nvidia also has German branches. So if you are really if you want like to choose for those companies, like the big companies, I don't think it matters where you are because they have like offices in other places. Unless maybe you want to be in the headquarters and that's in the US, then fine. Does that answer your question?
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome. And it's also helpful to have like to be multi lingual. It's just like it's a nice add-on to have. So if you have the opportunity, if it was me, I would go with Germany. Also because with a Ghana passports, you would get the Schengen visa and you can travel around the world, which is also important. So yeah, you decide. And lastly, with what's happening with the US and immigration and how they are handling the whole I don't know if you've all heard it, but Trump has made it very difficult for other nationals to stay in the US, especially after studies with the permits. I think the companies now have to pay like $10,000 if you come for certain countries, and Ghana is part of the list. So you also have to like think about your life after school, and if it's easier for you to stay or not. Yeah, I know it's quite sad. Exactly, and they give you 30 days after school to find a job, which is so small, like almost not worth it. But in Germany, I think Germany is like 3 to 6 months. I can confirm for you, but I think it's 3 to 6 months. Yeah. Okay. Any more questions? Okay. Hi, Ahmed, you can unmute and ask.
Yeah, so I just checked your LinkedIn and saw the developer program. I
Yeah.
want to know if you can just say a few things about it.
Yeah, absolutely. So the ARM Developer Program is a community. You can think of it as like this community, but focus on ARM developers or those building on ARM or want to build on ARM. So in the developer community, we have a curated dashboard where in the dashboard you have like different milestones. So you can track like the courses you are taking on ARM. You have direct access to ARM experts. So you have people like me on Discord, and if you are working on a project and you need like help or like you need help or you are stuck in your project, you can just send a question in the chat and one of the engineers would help you. We also invite our developers for events. We have something called the Arm Create. I don't know if Zena shared the challenge with you guys, but we have like an Arm Create challenge going on where we have the three different fields. You can have a solution in cloud, edge, or physical AI on ARM, and then you can submit the hackathon by 31st August. I think it's 13th or 31st. And then we have like cash prizes, I think up to $8,000. I don't remember the money, but like around that time. So we have hackathons for our developers. We also have events where we like to meet our developers, chat with them, see what problems they are facing, and then how we can also help. And essentially, in some ways, just like meeting people like yourself in one place, and also having access to aspects. Yeah. I can send the link. Yeah, I can send the link to join now. But Zenas is an ARM ambassador, so you can also like ask him about his experience.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I'll just send it here soon. And if you're struggling with using your personal email to sign up, you can use your university or your work email and you should be fine. I've sent in the chat. Does anyone else have any other question? Okay, I'll check the list one more time. If we don't have any more questions, and I think that would be it. Okay, so it looks like we don't have more questions. I enjoyed this session. It was very interactive, and I received so many questions, which is good. It means like most of you, all of you, are like motivated to learn, and I always enjoy meeting audiences like you. And yeah, Zinas, you're doing a great job. Congratulations with your team. I'm very impressed with the kind of questions I received and how motivated they were to like really know about something. If anyone has like more questions, you can reach out to me on LinkedIn and I will do my best to answer them as usual. And enjoy the rest of your evening. I hope we meet again soon. So whenever I'm going to Ghana, I would ask Zenas if you would have any in-person sessions, and then I would make it a point to come and meet all of you in person. Can the previous reasons links be shared? Those joined after can't see them. I would send them to Zenas personally. I think that would be better. And then before I end the call, because I think once I end it, we won't have access to it again. So he can share it with all of you. I'll just do that quickly. Yep. Okay. So hold on. Okay, so how about the links? I will send them to Zenas, and I believe we can close now if that's all. We have no more questions. So, and thank you for your time as well. Bye, everyone.
All right. Thank you, Dominica.
Absolutely, it's a pleasure.
Yeah. Thank you all for joining to the end. I think we have another session tomorrow by another friend. I think I'm not sure, but I'll confirm. He's Maunyo, he's the co-founder of Feathery Care. He studied biomedical engineering and He's currently studying mechatronics at Ashesi. So he will also do a similar session just like this one. So if you know anyone interested in biomedical engineering or interested in also robotics, but from biomedical engineering side, or has any questions concerning agriculture, he will be available to answer those questions. And also, I think there is a link sent. Those who are not in the WhatsApp group, you can tap on that link to join. I don't know if that's the correct one. Yeah, and also, I'm sure you guys have seen the boot camp, which was asked. So if you know anyone who is available and would like to join, kindly let them know. If there is a referral, the price is there's a discount attached to it. Caroline, send a link to the bootcamp on the website. So you can check it out, share it with any high school graduates or anybody who has the time to attend. It's going to be a very great foundation to start your engineering journey. As I mentioned earlier, I'm still working on the advanced robotics curriculum. That one will be ready soon. Dominica, I'll definitely reach out to you as well and give you more insights on the projects I'm planning on building.
Okay,
So
absolutely.
that's the link to the hardware bootcamp. Share it with any high school graduates you know. Trust me, those who attended last year realized that it really made a difference in their journey in the university. So that's basically it. Thank you all for joining. We'll meet same time next week. Bye.
Bye, everyone.